back, YouTube. KRoad17 here with a different video today. Today we are with Project Cars 2, and the reason why I'm with Project Cars 2 is because I wanted to dive into an older classic F1 track with Spa just around the corner. I wanted to give you guys a little hindsight on just how dangerous this sport was back in the 60s. So with this car, we are in Jim Clark's famous, I think it's Lotus 49. And we're going to take it around a lap, actually 3 laps, of the old Spa circuit in Belgium. And it's going to be utterly ridiculous. I cannot believe that these guys would go tooth and nail and drive these cars. But here we are. We're going to get into it and pray that we make it out alive. But here we are, the classic Spa, waiting for those 5 red lights to go. 5 red lights have gone, and we're on our way down this long hill up to what it used to be a little bit different of a, I think it's Radeon. I can't remember the turns off that or the top of my head, but you really have to slow this car down and really take your time. As you see, some of the AI are going slow. I will say the AI on this game are very aggressive. I do have it turned up completely to the point where they're gonna go for anything they can. It's a little different. I guess Formula 1 doesn't have that Codemasters, but this track is so long. It goes through the countryside. It goes through, the main part. We got an AI going wide there. We got to take it easy, really shift down. Got to be easy. As you can see, I almost get the car out of shape. These cars had no downforce. You basically were, a person, an aluminum tank, bathtub, as you will, and a super high-powered engine strapped right behind you on your back. So it was all for you. We got an AI crashing right in front of us. This is how dangerous it was. You had homes, like just homes on the countryside, and these guys would race through it. I mean, these guardrails in this game aren't representative because most of the time they actually had hay bales just, mapping out the track for these guys as these guys cruise through the roadside. But here we are getting into the countryside, getting a little out of shape there. One of the AIs sees a moment and takes it. So we're gonna have to gear up and go for it. These cars take a while to load up the RPM, so you can really top out that nice car sitting there. Really top out the top part of this motor, get the full power out of it. We have a driver right behind us. You can hear this engine just winding. This couldn't have been as much dangerous as it is. Actually, no regard for safety back then. You could see they would just stick them in the cars. Think of a track and just map it out and just be like, alright, you know what, let's go racing around here. This road actually around the circuit of Spa right now still exists, and you can actually go on MapQuest and look at it and take a little drive. There's videos on YouTube that you can see if you just look at some of the people that take I guess you'd say like road trip around the old circuit, because these roads do exist. They're not really like they used to be back then when these guys used to race on them. But, I mean, they're still there. Actually, I saw a video that it's this part of the track that you would follow and actually leads you up into what is now the circuit. But it's gated off once you get to the point of the circuit. And I think they use it as an entryway for the circuit. But, I mean, still, it's so crazy. I mean, these cars didn't really have a lot of grip either. They have, oh, jeez. Oh, man. Really have to pay attention to what I'm doing, but these cars had no mechanical grip. It was just purely a car with a driver, and it was up to the driver. A little bit of the horsepower that was given from the engine developers and the way these guys built these cars, but it's just absolutely insane what these guys did back in the 60s. I have a lot of respect for them. And I believe that, I do have respect for a lot of the drivers now from, let's say, the 2000s, 2010s up to now. But I don't think they had the kind of guts that these guys did back then. It was either drive for glory or produce death. You're going to die. Well, I think it was like 1 in every 5 died at that point, at some point between the 60s to the early 80s. We get tapped in the back, but never mind, we're going to keep forward. He actually backs off as well, and this part is fantastic. This 90-degree right-hand pin turn to go down the hill and start that second lap. That, guys, was just 1 lap, and we did 3 of these, but I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just going to cut in forth or back in between a few. But just to give you an idea of what these races were like back then. No safety, long tracks. I mean, they had the Nürburgring as well. So we get tagged up with the AI, and he spins himself out for it. But here we are, ending lap 2, coming up to my favorite part of this track. Is that 90-degree hairpin and down your way to start another lap. This obviously being the most populated part of the track back in the 60s. You have the pit entrance right there, which actually still exists now. They were on the right, going back up the hill. Really have to be easy on the throttle and brake a little bit early because this car could not take those turns, or that turn flat out, back in the 60s. And I'm kind of glad about that, to be honest. I don't think I would want to take that turn in the 60s flat out, or you're going to take something else full on. And here we have AI looking really racy. We go really loose, and he just zoops right past us. So, I mean, and now we got caught up with a lot of other AI. It's been a long time since I've played this game. I just figured, you know what, I'd give it another go, have fun with it, show you guys a little bit of what 1960 Spa looked like. They actually raced on this track until 1970. And I feel like I'm talking so much, but I mean, I absolutely love historical F1, you know, stuff. I think that's where my passion of the sport fits in. I do follow it nowadays, but I still feel that any given time, a lot of what's going on nowadays with rules, all of that, it's a bit soft sometimes, and it gets boring. And I know I'm not the only fan who thinks so, but I mean, proper respect to these guys who did it back in the day. Imagine being back in 1960s where you're watching these guys race and you live the countryside. You could pull up, you know, a blanket or a chair or whatever, pop down, sit there, and I hope these guys don't fly off the track and ultimately run you over and kill you. But that's a bit dark. It's the truth, but that's how it was back then. We have an AI get around us and go really slow, so we have to check up. We actually do hit his gearbox. But, I mean, the cars back then were a lot more durable than they are now. The cars now are like tinfoil, I feel sometimes, especially the front wings. These guys are losing end plates like crazy. The last turn we're going to make for this, and we get tagged up really hard. Get almost chucked upside down, which happened a lot back then. But on our way down the hill to finish our race at Spa in 1967 in the Lotus 49. So we actually finished P15. It's not like I was really keeping an eye on it. I was doing this for fun, give you guys more content apart from the league stuff I do on F1 2019 and the career mode videos that I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, hit the subscribe button. I plan on doing a lot more like this in the future. So subscribe if you can. I appreciate it. And I'm going to show you guys a lap around this track, kind of like my post-race highlights that I do on F1 2019. So turn the volume up and enjoy. Oh, he's got to be dead. Oh no! I think we're dead. No, we're okay. We're okay.